Good morning. Myself, Nishit Sadeva from class 12th at Delhi Public School, Rewari. We are here for our panel discussion on topic mental health. Let me introduce you to our panel members: Akshay Srivastava,
Hi.
Parth Verma,
Hello.
Karunya Garg,
Hello.
and Shashwat Goyal.
Hi.
Our topic is mental health. So let me introduce to our topic first. Mental health is a person's condition with regard to their psychology and emotional well-being. Let us start our panel discussion and take opinions of our panel members. Let us start with Karunya. Karunya, what are your thoughts on the causes of mental illness?
Thank you, Nishay. Well, in today's world, there are 1,000 sources of mental stress, and we conducted a survey on these causes and effects of mental stress, and there were a lot of results which I can share with you. First of all, there are the westernized living has caused a lot. Westernized living is a great source of stress in our lives, and people have agreed that isolated living in cities, lack of open spaces and fresh air, and large percentage of free time spent at home and not meeting our friends and families has taken a toll on their mental health. And another great reason for stress increase is our media. Mental health experts agree that media have exponentially increased our stress, such as watching and reading newspapers, TV serials, movies, advertisements, social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc., etc. They mainly focus on negative news, bad role models, and sensational headlines, and they have destroyed the basic human respect for each other, leading to social discord and mental disorders. Another thing which I would like to say is that in the COVID time, we have stopped doing physical activity a lot. Most of the time is actually being spent on home. And these were my thoughts. Thank you, Nishay.
Parth, would you like to say something about this?
Yes, thanks, Nishchay. Even I have studied a survey and I found that out of every 10 US citizens, 4 were suffering from anxiety and fear. Now, mental health and mental disorder have become a part of our daily life for each and every citizen nowadays because of that pandemic. What are we finding? The main reasons for the mental illness is due to the social isolation. Social isolation, lack of physical activities, and lack of interaction has caused these mental illness to happen to each and everyone.
Thank you, Parth.
So,
Akshat, would you like to say something on this?
I think that increasing workload among today's teenagers and today's teenagers setting unrealistic goals for themselves to achieve has really created a lot of cases of mental illness among today's youth. And that's it from my side.
Shashwat, would you like to add anything to this?
Yes, I would like to add some key factors which play a very important role in today's times, especially. One of them is being social media. On social media, you get to see only the cream of world. This often shields a person with the sorrows and difficulties of other people, and this makes them feel that these problems are very specific to them. This is a major cause of mental illness. It often causes depression, and people are not even very aware of how this thing happens. And another key factor is our biological, your genes, family history, and especially exposure of viruses and toxic chemicals when your mother is pregnant also plays a big role. This can be very problematic in cases because genetic disorders are very hard to cure. One should be very well aware of these things.
Thank you, Shashwat, for your thoughts. Akshat, my next question to you is: what are the adverse effects of technology on our mental health?
Yes. We know that every coin has two sides. There are many positive use cases of technology, but at the same time, there are many negative use cases too. And if a person indulges too much into technology, he will find himself lonely, and which loneliness is a major cause of mental illness. Thank you.
Shashwat, would you like to add up to this?
Yes, of course, Nishay. I would like to point out some factors like social comparison on these cyber platforms, feeling of missing out, cyberbullying, online trolling. These are major causes of depression and anxiety in today's world. And especially one factor that many people miss out on is increased screen time, especially in these COVID times. And increased screen time, especially before bed, can be very harmful. And I have already told you about how social media affects this, and this is what I want to add.
Parth, what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, technology has brought all the services in our hand, but yes, it is having a very adverse effect on our mental illness. It causes psychological strain. It distracts the students from their the dedicated work. It also causes eye strains and also makes it difficult for one to focus on his or her work, so that he can accomplish it in a very nice manner. That's all.
Thank you, Parth. Karune, do you think there are any positive effect of technology on our mental health?
Yes, thank you, Nishay. Well, it may sound contradictory that technology could positively impact our mental health. And even though there are challenges with how it impacts, just like my batchmates counted, there are also benefits. Especially in the COVID time when we can't leave our homes, technology has provided a way so that we can continue living our lives and do the work we need to do, such as online classes for students. And it has also helped in mental health by providing online therapy sessions. Thank you.
Akshat, I want to ask you that the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on our mental health.
Yes, we all know that humans are social beings, but COVID has locked up everyone inside their home from past 2 years, which has affected mental health of a lot of people. And also those who were affected by COVID and their family members, mental health took a adverse hit in this situation. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Akshat. Parth, your views on this?
Yes, pandemic and recent recession have negatively affected many people's mental health. They suffer difficulty in sleeping, they are suffering from economic stress, and many are rendered jobless, which have adversely affected their mental psychology. Thank you.
Shashwat, would you like to add anything to this?
My batchmates covered a lot of points, but two points which I would like to especially focus on are as follows. First is economic impact. As Parth said, that there have been a huge loss of income for an average person. There are fear of being jobless, and some are already jobless. This has led to many mental illness sprouting among a hell lot of people. A second point I would like to cover is an increased use of alcohol and drugs. People use them to cover their mental illness for short time gratifications, and this has got a very bad toll on human health. Many mental health complications such as delirium, agitation, and strokes are day by day getting more and more common, which is very bad for our society. Thank you.
Karune?
Yeah, sure, Nishay. Well, my friends actually covered a lot of points, but I still have 2 or 3 points which I could add on. Especially like in COVID times, workload has increased, especially if you're a frontline worker like a doctor. And work from home has affected our work-life balance. Online classes have reduced discipline among students. And happy occasions like Diwali, Holi, especially are very few because people are scared to get out of their homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Karune. Shashwat, I want to ask you that there are any cure for mental health problems?
We all are very well aware that the only major cure of mental illnesses, according to me, is psychiatric counseling by well qualified specialists. But there are some problems with it. The major one being the shame associated with the mental illness that really needed to be eradicated first from the society for the cures to become prevalent in our society. And for that, we need to create awareness among the people through various means like advertisements, and especially through an active engagement on this problem by the government. Thank you.
Akshat, do you want to say anything on this?
Yes, I think different people have different ways of getting out of their mental space. For some people, it's dancing. For some, it's going outside and playing. Personally, for me, it's music. And like Shashwat said, professional counseling is also a major way in which major way to deal with mental illness. Thank you.
Parth, your views on this?
Yes. Now there are many cures for mental problems. The first one, an individual should try to interact socially as much as possible. He should go for regular physical activities. Meditation must be involved in his daily schedule. A brisk walk should be involved. He may turn on to music, and he must try to be creative. Thank you.
Karune, do you want to add anything to this?
Yes, Nitya, surely. There are a lot of things we can do so that we get free from our mental stress. Things like yoga and meditation, and remembering our gods, especially. And one more thing we can do is to keep our mind occupied in hobbies like, especially like I like singing and things like gardening and watering the plants. Reduced exposure to media can be one of the ways you can reduce stress. Also, sleep is one of the best things. Proper sleep is one of the most necessary things to reduce the mental stress in people. That's all.
Thank you, Karune. Anyone among us can tell me how to create mental health awareness among all?
Yes, Nishay. As I said, government must take active steps towards creating mental health awareness. There are some points that we, as common citizens of this country, can also take, like volunteering for various mental health screening events. This is very important, and this should happen at community level in your neighborhood. This should be aimed at creating an open atmosphere where everyone can talk about their experiences and open up. We must encourage kind language for that too. This will naturally create more education among people about mental health awareness. And also one very important step which I have came to the conclusion through this meeting, and I would like to appeal to the common people watching this, is to leave social media as much as they can. It is really having a very heavy toll on our mental health. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashwat. As Shashwat said, to create mental health awareness is very important as to eradicate shame related to the mental health illness. Thank you so much for your precious time. I hope our viewers have surely learned something from our panel discussion. Thank you.